Okay, today we are here with Avni. She's our exchange student from San Francisco, and we're gonna ask her some questions. So the very first time we spoke, we talked about how alcohol is kind of like a religion in the Czech Republic. So naturally, the first question is about alcohol. I wanted to ask you if you got the chance to try some of the Czech beers. There's a lot of them, obviously. And if you had the chance to form an opinion about them and pick your favorite one and maybe your least favorite one.
I think a lot of my belief is probably influenced by what other Czech people have told me, which is that Pilsner is number one. And I agree, but I don't know how much of it is my belief versus people telling me. I would say in America we maybe don't have as sophisticated of a palate for beer. I'm just told it's a good beer, so I believe it. But Pilsner is number one, and then maybe Kozal, and I think honestly I like Radagast Belize.
Okay. Well, to be honest, a lot of Czech people also I think are peer pressured into liking a certain brand. I was kind of peer pressured into liking Radagast because my dad drinks Radagast, you know, and I into like disliking, for example, Kozal because my dad doesn't like it.
Okay.
So it's like you kind of had a similar experience.
It's tradition.
Yeah. I also wanted to ask you about what was the biggest culture shock you experienced when coming to the Czech Republic, or even when coming to Liberec compared to like Prague, I guess.
I think one big culture shock was I had gone into some of the rooms and seen like naked photos of women in a school place, which is a big culture shock, especially coming from the US where that sort of behavior is a fireable offense. For people to see that, I don't really know how to make sense of it. I think it was one of the biggest culture shocks, or seeing a lot of like explicitly sexual, like I went to the gym yesterday and I saw this like paper of people voting for ass, boobs, personality or something, and like one person had voted for personality and there was like a question next to it, kiddo who. And so I think those sort of things are felt more of like a culture shock, especially coming from a place where there is a stronger notion that school is more supposed to be this like quote unquote safe space. And yeah, I think sometimes I wonder what it must feel like as a girl student in a school with so many guys, entering a teacher's room and seeing like 5 different naked women all around. It must not be the best.
Yeah. What is your favorite Czech food?
I like the shopsky salad.
Oh, okay.
Like the brie is that the brie that is put in the oven and has like cranberry sauce with like all these vegetables? That's shopsky salad, right?
I think like shopsky salad is with like tomatoes and...
Then which one is this? Do you know what I'm talking about? Where you have like brie and it's baked. Brie cheese, it's baked. You foil it, bake it.
That's like hermelin.
That's camembert.
Yeah, it's camembert. It's like grilled...
Why are you saying it like it's something?
It's grilled cheese.
Shopsky salad just means like salad.
Oh, okay.
It's like a generic salad, pretty much.
Oh, okay. So this one is called...
Hermelin.
Hermeli. Yeah. Okay. I really like hermeli salad.
It's not a salad. It's just cheese.
No, but it's cheese. It's cheese. I've had this. Okay, so it's cheese on top of like cucumbers, tomatoes, vegetables, and then they put cranberry sauce on it.
Yeah, so it's hermelin with vegetables. So it's cheese with vegetables.
Okay.
But it's not a salad.
Okay, and cranberry sauce.
Yeah, that's like
Tradition.
With hermelin you normally just put like fruit sauces. Hermelin is your favorite, but which one is your least favorite?
I don't know if I've tried anything that's my least favorite. I think someone described Czech food to me as American Thanksgiving food, and I feel like that's very fitting because it's very meat heavy and it is on the sweeter side of food typically, and so I like food that's like typically more spicy, and so some of the meat dishes I enjoy, like, but sometimes I like to add some spice or something to it.
What are some awkward language mix-ups you've had so far?
I think one that comes to mind is when you guys say really, you say fact.
Oh, yeah.
And that obviously carries or sounds really similar to another word in English. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never thought about that.
Because you guys also say like fact, like yo. I think like.
Yeah, yo and fact can be used in the
like
same...
you just like fact yo,
Yeah.
like or something, and I'm like, it's shocking. When I first heard.
Is that a question? How do you spend your weekends here in Liberec? Are there any activities you've maybe picked up since moving here?
I've only actually had 2 weekends in Liberec for the time that I've been here. The rest, a lot of them I've been traveling or had to go to Prague. I have been going to a lot of different events. Like I went to a wine festival in one of the parks. I've had a lot of people visiting, so just showing them around, going for hikes. Yeah, I think that's the main things.
So you mentioned you've made a few friends here. How does social life and dating differ here from the US?
I think people at the center of it are different here in terms of personality as well. One of the first things that I noticed is that here people are way more direct, which I think is a Czech stereotype as well. And I feel like I've seen that in a lot of my friendships that I've formed here as well, where, you know, if someone doesn't want to hang out, they'll be very direct. If someone wants to, you know, it's not out of any guilt that they're feeling obligated to invite you, but they actually want that. I think in terms of dating, I don't know, I haven't explored that scene much. In the US, I've typically like only dated friends, so I'm focusing on building more friendships as opposed to looking at a dating scene.
You're making friends so you can date them, like...
No! No, I don't even mean it like that. I feel like in the US I've met people that I dated through other friends.
What are some traditions, Czech traditions, that you would like to bring back to the US?
I really like the name day, just as another excuse to celebrate someone and to get presents as well. I also really like the tradition of taking off your shoes, which is something that I do in my house as well, but the added providing slippers for people, especially in a place where it does get cold. I wouldn't particularly want to bring back the Easter tradition, and I'm not sure what's going on with the witch birding tradition either.
So do Americans not take their shoes off when entering someone's house?
In a lot of households, they do not take off their shoes, and if you're entering a household like that, you also probably want to keep your shoes on because the ground will be dirty.
Yeah, and then what about like during autumn when it's raining and there's mud everywhere? Do you just walk into someone's living room with your muddy shoes?
Yeah, maybe there's like a place where you can kind of like wipe off your shoes or whatever's underneath. I think maybe in those cases people try to switch out their shoes, but for a lot of people, wearing shoes in the house is quite normal.
So, did you pick up any new hobbies since moving to the Czech Republic?
One big thing that I've started is cooking, which is a very basic thing, but I have notoriously avoided cooking for basically my whole life. And I've always had people around me that would cook. And so that's one thing that I've been trying to learn more of and do more of here.
Okay, so you started cooking out of necessity?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, because I have no one around me that is able to cook. A little bit, as well as I think it's like about time I picked skill.